Miss Lee, Lexi B, Lolo, whatever you want to call me between the hours of 2 and 3. Coming to you on a Tuesday afternoon where we talk, to people that just triumph through life. They've got a purpose, they've got a goal, they've got a good mindset, and they've just got it together. Yesterday we talked about not having it together, but I tell you, the guest in studio today definitely does have it all together. Ducks in a row, they are swimming, they are in unison, synchronized, Baba. They are synchronized. It is what it is, man.
All right, it is the 16th of May, 2017. The song that we just played you was JP Cooper, Perfect Strangers. Yeah, we'll discuss that some other day. We'll discuss that some other day. Well, it is a Tuesday, like Lee said, and we're discussing everything that has to do with you triumphant. Ting. Can I put a ting there?
Please, my friend.
Anything that has to do with you triumphant thing. Now, we're going to take a journey for about 4 or 5 weeks that we are going to impact, change, and transform the lives of those who were deemed to be useless. The lives of those who were deemed to be, just a chamors. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
When society finds you at a weak point, and it is always the proclivity of human beings, that when we find you at a weak point, we always want to point judgment at you. There's a preacher that said that we are all innocent. The difference is some of us has not been caught yet. We are all guilty, sorry. The difference is some of us has not been caught as yet. So you look at the person who's in jail today. He's no different from you. Your mistakes had not yet been revealed into the light as his. So we're going to take that journey. We're going to call it a journey through my mind. And everybody that's going to be coming in here each and every Tuesday, starting off today with a pioneer that believed in other people, a pioneer that believed in broken pieces. And he took them together, brought them, and he's making waves out there for people to come to be reconciliated with their families, for them to have dignity yet again in the community. I'm talking about the one and only, Mr. Van Heer. How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
Let me do this. Let me not sabotage you, nah? It's too early for that.
Too early.
How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having us here today.
We are pleasure. We are more than pleasured to have you in studio today.
Fantastic, and we're excited to be here. I'm here with Ansley. He's in our program at the moment as well.
And how are you, my brother?
I'm very good, thank you. And you?
Is you alright om ons Afrikaans praat?
Yeah, Engels is okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Kurt, I just want you to, intro yourself, the people out there who are probably hearing you for the first time.
Sure.
Who is Kurt? Where does Kurt come from? And what does Kurt do?
Sure. Firstly, I am married to a beautiful, sexy, amazing young woman. Her name's Bronwyn.
All right.
She works at Molpak Netcare.
All right.
That's about my life, who I'm married to.
Yes.
Whatever I do outside of that is just a bonus.
Okay.
I consider my greatest responsibility to be a husband.
Wow.
And outside of that, to be a pastor to the people God has given me the privilege to pastor. So that is who I am. I'm Kurt, married, founder of Institution of Grace, senior pastor of C3 Church, Florida, under the leadership of Pastor Calvin Phillips.
Right.
We are under the global movement called C3 Church with our lead apostolic leader, Pastor Phil Pringle.
Yes.
So that's who I am. Passionate about Christ, passionate about helping broken people. And passionate about seeing people find life and purpose and destiny through the process.
Yes.
And that's who I am.
Alrighty, that is Kurt van Heerden for you right here on the KYC. Well, wondering how to get a hold of us on today's show, the number is 071 425 9577. Make no mistake, you can make contact with us on Facebook /Kofifi FM 97.2. Out in Twitterville, guess what? We got you covered. That will be at Kofifi FM _972. And of course, for all of you Insta babies, we cater to you too. That will be at Kofifi FM, one word.
What's up? It's Protester, and you're listening to the Kofifi Youth Collabo on 97.2, where it all began. Peace.
Kofifi FM 97.2. How may I help you?
Huh? What the? No! No!
It is the KYC with Big Daddy.
Monday to Friday, 2 to 3.
This is Kofifi Youth Collaboration.
En ons maak hom seer met veel tracks.
And now you're tuned into Kofifi FM 97.2.
Ik survive elke dag, omdat ik alles dus. Zij survive elke dag, omdat ik alles dus. Os, elke dag, omdat ik alles dus. Ik survive elke dag, omdat ik alles dus. Omdat ik alles dus. Ja, met ons alles dus. Als u, zeker in de dood. Nee, Chris. Asia, tijd voor oors om te reizen. Zeker, beyond the surprise. Yo, zekerheid, yo, die is van mijn mensen. Ja, die is wat die struggle is, gekoppeld aan meer raggedness. Betrokken staan die babbelness. Owens waar die talas is en skarrel is. Krijg me met een smile op waar ik krabbel dus. Ik survive elke dag, omdat ik kan het dus. Die is wat die struggle is, gekoppeld aan meer raggedness. Betrokken staan die babbelness. Owens waar die talas is en skarrel is. Krijg me met een smile op waar ik krabbel dus. Ik survive elke dag, omdat ik kan het dus. Elke dag, omdat ik kan het dus. Elke dag, omdat ik kan het dus. Elke dag, omdat ik kan het bosses, vet studenten, bonsterak, reptalenten, kaapse vlak, wettileen de harde vlak, testamenten van die lieve hier, Kaapstad, rep ik door dongerkraat, meer gaat als civilians, jaken aan met hongerslaap, die mensen skarrel elke dag, van die ochtend tot die nacht, uit de wonen als een klacht, kracht, botsen zonnekracht, zie je dokie, zwakker is wat je wisdom bepaalt, desperatie, trouwpannen op die merchants schaal, net een wit, die scenery is evil, die is gieren hier, aftaap is aan mijn poes, als schiet machinerie, die mieren hier, en zal je tokken van jouw bieren hier, die is de grootste boeven, zie government. You me, dat is tragedie dat reality die woede uitdeel. Tijdens die de meeste likejes op de stoepen gaat speel. Zij wat bedrieg zal jou die zwakste verbeel. Kost als jongens is maar alleen maar wat jouw zakken bestiel. Zij wat bedrieg zal jou die zwakste verbeel. Kost de slangen soos mijn zullen wat jouw zak Besteel, sê wat verliefd rap en ek hart en voor jou. Ons is manne soos Clint Chris is altyd one up te veel. Jy, die wat die struggle is gekoppel saam die ruggedness, betrokke staan die babbelness. Ouens wat die talas is en skarrel is, kry my met 'n smile, maar waar ek krabbel dus. Ek survive elke dag, omdat ek kallik is. Die wat die struggle is gekoppel saam die ruggedness, betrokke staan die babbelness. Ouens wat die talas is en skarrel is, kry my met 'n smile, maar waar ek krabbel dus. Ek survive elke dag, omdat ek kallik is. Het was in 1987 saam my cousin Nico en Kevin op speciale habitat. Soek na vrede boer die heavens. Geboortedatum, testamente dat die pad is eeuw. Maand na my birth, kiel, hulle vir Ashley Kriel. My situasie is bewyse dat 'n dronk fondasie van 'n stoppenhuis my kan lei na die abominasie. Ek ken van armwies, honger lei en sulke loons. En ons was 3 gesinne wat bly in die selle servants quarters. Karel nagte op die straat, ek kan nie skrik nie fight. Desperasie sal jou laat sat gaan oor 'n stukkie tyd. Kersfeestye was armoede.
Hey, Jay, hoe lyk dit my? Jay staan net rond en praat stront tussen die kwaras, ouwe.
As ek vandag daai op dood sien nie hande kry, dan draai ek sy nek om.
Ouwe, maar se kan, hoe lyk dit?
Nee, is gedaan.
Kykie, wat lyk dit so af vandag, ou bro?
Nee, die ding is die my bro, ek is nou mooi fed up vir jou liegstorie.
Nee, my bro, as die liegstories, man. Weet jy wat het gebeur nou met my? Ek kry nou vir koos.
Waar dan?
Koos en Piet, man, wat in die Malies is. Koos en vir Piet is besig om te verdring in die Maliese pool. Hy duik toe in en hy red vir Piet.
Jo, hy is mos alright kwaai, man.
Maar hy is niks, man. Die volgende dag roep die kopdokter vir Koos. En hy sê toe vir Koos dat hy goeie nuus het en niet slegte nuus. Wat die goeie nuus is, dat sy nie meer mal is die Koos, omdat sy gewiet het om vir Piet te red. Maar die slegte nuus is, dat Piet dood is. Hy het homself opgehang.
Jo, nee, damn it, man.
Koos sê toe, nee dokter, ek het hom daar opgehang om droog te word. Hy was aan sopnat.
Yes, like it, my bro.
His name is Stogie T, no longer Do Me and the Volume, by any means, featuring MT and Younger right there. Kofifi FM 97.2, welcome terug. It is 25 minutes after the hour of 2 o'clock. Before that, we gave you Sijava and simply put, Ngempela.
What does that mean? I remember there was a series out on a certain channel, and it was called that. But it was like this narrative kind of series where an old lady would tell stories about how things happen to the community. What does that mean?
Ngempela is
for real.
For real.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and that's what we're dishing to you right here between the hours of 2 and 3 on the KYC. If you just joined us, we've got Pastor Kurt van Heerden in studio, and of course, one of his proteges that goes by the name of Ainsley in studio as well. Now, if you're wondering why do we have this man in studio, well, he is just doing phenomenal and great things. I am privileged to say that I know him.
Sure.
Personally, I've been under his leadership, so I can definitely be one of those people that can speak good of his works. However, Ellie.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, sometimes you are just the wisdomful one. Eh? Yeah, so I'm going to hand back over to you.
All right. Now, we've had a lot of conversations, a lot of interviews with Kurt. I've been at your place. I've seen it when it was still starting, when it was just scrap, and only thing that could sustain what you have today is faith and hope.
Sure.
The journey towards you coming into ministry, just paint a picture for us. How was it for you entering into ministry? When did you realize that you are called to do what you're doing now?
Sure. I guess it started a few years back when I was still in school.
All right.
With Lisha, we attended a youth group called Cloud9 Youth.
Cloud9.
We were under the leadership of Pastor Regan Morgan, and we were those young people who just make things happen.
All right.
And it's out of that place where I just started feeling called. Every Friday night, God would just started speaking with me in pictures concerning my future. And as I journeyed on, few years after that, found myself in Zambia,
Mm-hmm.
in a little small room in Zambia. God showed me in my heart that I'm called to start a church and to start a restoration center that helps those bound by drug addiction.
Right.
It was the next day where I called my mom
Mm.
and said, hey, guess what? I decided to get married. And she's like, what? I'm like, yes. I don't know how. I'm just going to do it. But it was me acting on faith to what God is showing me in my
Wow.
heart. 25 years old at the time. And then the night of that, I prepared my engagement speech. And I remember phoning my mother-in-law now and my father-in-law saying, hey, look, I'm going to engage to your daughter. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, I know she's 19. And I don't know how it's going to work, but we're going to make it work anyway. So I got to Tambo Airport straight from the plane with my luggage through the doors. And here she was, went down on one knee. And the only offering I had, or the only thing I had at that time to offer God, was my engagement speech.
Sure.
Wow.
Because I knew I had nothing. I had no money, no resources, only a vision in my heart and a word that God gave me in Zambia. And I remember when I walked out of the airport, I held my babe like this. Yeah, that sexy one, that one. I held her like this. And then the process started.
Yeah.
The process started. And 2 years later, we're sitting with 3 restoration homes.
Wow.
Having helped over hundreds of families.
Wow.
Over 30 plus people having come through our program, finding redemption, restoration, having been released into their destiny.
Yeah.
So God's been doing what only He can do, and that's the impossible.
Wow.
Now, when it comes to ministry, Kurt, it is not for the faint-hearted.
Sure.
There's many people that has journeyed on this venture and, fell by the wayside because they weren't equipped enough. They didn't have the substance enough that was required of them. With you, it was a different story. When you journeyed in, man, you went full blast. I remember there was a time in your life where, you were faced with, do I do what, everybody sees me doing? That was cricket. And then God had called you. How was that moving away from what you had in your heart for a very long time, and then you realized the call was upon your life? What was that journey for you like?
Sure. I guess you always come to a crossroad in your life where you would have to decide to live with what God is showing you or live to what people's expectation is of you.
Right.
And I guess at that point, everybody probably thought that I'm going to be this amazing cricket player.
Yes.
Although I had the passion, but it just died at some point in my life when I started looking at what's happening within our community. And it's out of that place where, in the book of Nehemiah, when Nehemiah says, how can I not be sad when the city where my forefathers are buried lies in ruins? And I guess out of that desire that it was born to just help people. I don't know how I said to myself and to God, but it was God like just saying, just, will I say send me? Just say, I am the great I am. And I guess when that understanding dropped on the inside of me, it's like, okay, it's that desire. It's out of that place where I knew that I'm called not just so much to preach, but called to help people who's broken. And I think that was the defining moment in my life where I realized that I'm called, that our broken people could relate to me. And the reason why I could relate to them is because subtly, subconsciously, I was broken myself. And I always tell the guys in the restoration center, whether I'm a pastor at age 27, married at 27, I'm still walking the life of restoration.
All right.
Because what you need at age 19 and what you need at age 25 or 35 constantly differs. So you go through seasons of restoration as a person yourself.
Right. Yeah.
And it's that understanding, it keeps you humble and keeps you understanding, okay, I'm a pastor when I preach, but I'm a person when I live. And I relate as a person, but lead as a pastor.
Nice.
And that's the defining difference in terms of where I am in my life right now, feeling called by God.
I've got to then say on that point that you just made there that, Christianity should not define humanity, and humanity should not define Christianity. I think, it is one of those things where you are called. You need to be able to distinguish between the two. There's sometimes where you need to be a pastor, and sometimes where you need to be a counselor, sometimes where you need to be a friend. And I think you have really encapsulated that in your character, as a person, and hence it's so easy then for people to relate to you. And that is the call. That's when the call is real on your life. When you are able to do that with ease. It is not one of those things where you're feeling like you've got, your hands in all sorts of pies. Because it's easy. It's with ease, and it is not, yes, you will be challenged. However, it's not at any point where you feel the burden is too heavy, like your cup is too full. And that is something that we're definitely going to be getting out of, this entire series with Kurt. If you're wondering how to get a hold of us, the number is 071 425 9577. There's a lot of families out there that need the kind of help that you are definitely giving. But we're going to get more with Kurt and, of course, Ensley right after this.
Let's take our time.
Kofifi FM 97.2. How may I help you?
Huh? What the?
No!
Hulle sê ek is illiterate as ek sit en ek skryf hier, maar die tikmasjien het dit gesien, die mister se PhD. 'n Man van woorde moet dit nooit die mistake die begin met AB. As jou ore 'n walbou, my woorde laat val gou, ek rock die world, soos die stories van Balbo. Slat jou gedagtes hoog, soos 'n alto, ze hangen aan my lippe amper net soos 'n galgtou. Maar daar's 'n verskil, ek wonder sal jy dit sien, tussen verstand en my siel, tussen my gun en my skill. Wie sê waarmee ek deal, ek moet nie harm in die feel, tussen die man wat sy ken en die man in die speel. Listen to my stories before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my stories before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. Jaro bra, moenie 'n fout maak nie. Die blok is warm, het sal nie koud raak nie. Dis waarom skryf ek op blaaie met 'n ou kapie. Soos die skeem van die aarde, ons maak 'n foam party. Hokka, koorts aan met 'n Hawkeye broer. My soort stryk so, 'n wit blad verander in 'n trookstryp so. Die trook maak so, as hy 'n leë blad is, dan moet sy vol raak broer. Listen to my stories before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my stories before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. As jy begin om te stap, dis die ink wat jou knap, want ek kan het liewe, tussen die wit en die swart, ek het gebuk in die sand, met 'n boek in my hand, nou sit kennis van penne wat ek omgesit het in klank, en het rank, soos 'n blom om my hek, al is ek gewoon voor 'n sek, wanneer ek boots met die wet, as ek my mond oopmaak, as skyn die son in die plek. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. Nou doe ek binne die kapeterie, het ek my sinne 'n taak gegee, en daai my cinematography, dis was hulle dan binne my criminal mind, binne 'n jaar het sake sien, soos die witte parades, maar nie te verdiep in die water, soos die hande van onskuld, soos die van belades, as al die piek op die braad is, weggesliek, dis net soos ek, maar die is my straat is, ek is 'n skollie, en daar is wat die kind se naam is. Listen to my stories before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time. Listen to my story before you somewhat call me. Story time.
Hey, Jay, hoe lyk dit my? Jay staan net rond en praat stront tussen die kwaras, ouwe.
Vandag Gaan ek daai aan doodsie 'n ding of twee wys.
Awe, mas se kan nou like it. Week ze aan jou guaras. Of ze weet mos klaar wie die guara king is, ne?
Jou kop is so klein. Sy dra 'n kappie met 'n kruisbande.
Nee, dan 'n plat nie soos 'n pensioenboekie.
Nee, nou raak sy personal, ne? Nou raak sy lekker personal op doodsie.
Dis die guaras die my broer, sy moet steek wees.
Alright, nou jou voete is so dik. Dat lyk soos twee pitboekkoppe.
Ek sê nee man, gaan met sien.
Wie moet nou steek wees?
Ek lyns nou liewes man.
Nee, my broer op doodsie, yes, like it man.
Jou voete is so skurf. Dit lyk sy dra lederkouse.
Jong, groet sy nie jou broer.
Awe, maar se kan nou like it.
Nee, lekker, my broer, sy is dan nou so oud. Jou sy poepstof.
Man, gaan met sien. Sy weet mos ek is die champ man. Moenie vir jou kwaai jou nie, julle so arm. As julle huis ingebreek word, dan roof julle die dief.
Jou ore is so klein, sy want it now and then.
Nou sien ze nou daar raak sy al weer personal, ne?
Nee, op doodsie man, ja, kyk jy, sy verloor, ne? Dat wat sy personal raak.
Jou kop is so groot, sy was het met 'n kombes.
Nou kyk jy op doodsie, ne?
Jou neus is so groot, sy blaas hom uit met 'n duvet-cover.
Man, ek loop nou.
It is the KYC with Big Daddy.
Monday to Friday, 2 to 3. This is Kofifi Youth Collaboration.
En ons maak hom seer met veel tracks.
And now you're tuned into Kofifi FM 97.2.
KYC with Big Daddy. Keeping the crowd outside.
I fell love in you.
Kofifi FM 97.2. About what? 18 minutes before the hour of 3 o'clock. Major is his name. And such a beautiful song. Such a beautiful song. It has been proven, it has been stated, it has been declared that only man can write such beautiful music. Continue right here. Bruno Mars before that, Versace on the floor. And we are back on the KYC 2 to 3 o'clock as Lisho collects herself.
Yes, draw self, swan self.
Well, we'll still have Kurt in studio talking to us about his life, the journey that he is still walking. He's still walking, the journey that he's still walking, and the process that, you know, is embedded in continuing and walking in that journey.
All right, can I just share a little song?
Yes, ma'am.
Like I gotta bring this back home for everybody. Like I just said earlier on that, you know, Kurt and I know each other.
Yeah.
So back then, youth days, you know, Kurt comes into his own. Oh, Sheba Mo, this guy, he is hot. Yo, every girl wants him in the communities. Every girl wanted this guy, I tell you. And okay, so now he's getting into his own. And he's like, yo, Lee, you know, there's this girl, right? And I like her, but I wrote something for her, but I just want you to read it for me. And then tell me if I can, like, you know, give it to her. Kurt gives me this 3-page letter about how the sky is blue, about how wine ages, and she's just hot and fine. And I tell you, that was all in that letter. But basically, what I'm trying to get at is that, you know, he took it like, hy begin baie vroeg het hy begin met 'n skryfding. And then, you know, once he was like really invested in being radical for Christ, he was constantly reading. It was constantly a thing for our leadership to be reading. If you're not reading a book that is, you know, going to empower you, that's going to change your life, that's going to, you know, enhance you, then read the Bible. Like, you know, and then we had this we started off in the beginning of the year with like, let's start off first chapter, Genesis. Why not? It's very daunting for any Christian that comes into the faith walk just to be reading the Bible. But yet he made it really fun. It was cool. Every, you know, Wednesday nights we'd meet as a leadership, and it became a thing. It became really easy for everyone to do. And, you know, many people would be saying like, okay, jy kom van Afrikaanse school, so jy kan mos nou nie vir my kom Engels loop leer nie. And he was just like, not about that life. I'm gonna read my English. If it's broken, it's fine. And that is what it is. And honestly, it has been a journey. We were joking off air that, you know, hy kom lank pad met die dinge, man. So this is like not a surprise to me that you are writing a book. Yes, I done said it. Pastor Kurt is writing his first book, and it's called The Process. Do share with us how you got to this point.
Sure, I guess the book is inspired, number one, out of the life of David in the Bible.
All right.
From the time he comes onto the scriptures to the time he dies, it is what I call the process. And what I believe all of us go through, from the time we called to the time we die, we go through a process. We go through different seasons of our lives. What's phenomenal and what I think is different about this book is that the author is in what he's writing about.
All right.
Because many times when we read a book, we read about how someone has conquered certain things. But this is so different. It speaks about how we are still conquering. And that speaks about the process. So it comes out of the life of David in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 16, 17. The book's only written out of those 2 chapters, believe it or not.
Wow.
So there's a lot of books still to come. It's written out of a concept where it's season 1. So the book's name's The Process.
Okay.
But it's season 1 of the process.
Wow.
So season 1 ends with I ended off by the best 1-minute Instagram video. So if David had Instagram, he would have probably shot the best 1-minute Instagram video. So he would have probably said, hi, Instagram followers. I'm about to defeat this uncircumcised Philistine. So I ended off like that if David had Instagram, it would probably be the best 1-minute Instagram video where he walks up to David, swings the sling. But I speak more about, at the end of the book, about how Saul says David is a boy. And he says Goliath is a champion that's been fighting from his youth. But what Saul doesn't know is that the years in David contradicts the years on David. And the years in Goliath contradicts the years on Goliath. So although he sees Goliath as a man, Goliath's actually a boy. And
Mm.
although he sees David as a boy, David's actually a man.
Yeah.
So that part in the book is called Be a Contradiction Breaker. So yeah, it's awesome, man. The process.
It's exciting already. I'm sitting here, let's read the whole book now.
Can we get a manuscript as the KYC? Can we?
Yeah, you've been editing my letters from your days, man. So you might as well just get one.
Why not?
I'm gonna sit there with a red pen. Watch me. Well, we're gonna have to like wrap this one up right here. But I'm gonna wrap it up with something. Hey, you see, kid? You see now. So there's one here that reads, "Hi, the intelligent youth crew." The wisdomful one.
All right.
The wisdomful one.
Let's listen.
Yes, alrighty. I'd just like to say that I just love how he puts his wife on a pedestal. Great stuff.
Come on now. Come on now.
Positive attitude. And this is
Yes.
coming from Fidoza. I think, many women would really appreciate a man that would go on a public platform and just decree and declare how much he loves her.
that?
And that's true love right there. And
Yeah.
you can't have that kind of love if you're not found in love in Christ.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion. One here that says, "Hi there, guys. Loving the show. If possible, can you please play me Joel Scott? You don't know. Hey, what don't we know?" And then I'm going to save this one for when we get into the conversation about your rehab center.
Sure.
But right now, we got to take a quick break. The number is 071 45 95 77.
It is the KYC with Big Daddy.
Monday to Friday, 2 to 3.
This is Kofifi Youth Collaboration.
En ons maak hom seer met veel tracks.
And now you're tuned into Kofifi FM 97.2.
KYC with Big Daddy. Keeping it proud.
Jennings coming through on your frequency this Tuesday afternoon with a song called Talking About Love. Hey, talking about love. Alice talking about love. Kurt talking about love. Ensley. Well, we do still have Kurt in studio with us on the KYC. Your favorite radio station, Kofifi FM 97.2 is where you're at. And you don't want to be anywhere else. Right, alrighty. So we've been, getting into the mind of Kurt, talking about how he sacrificed as a young man, how he is just really all out there, super in love.
Most definitely.
Oh, you couldn't even wait for me to finish. Super in love. He's made sacrifices. He started the process of writing a book. And when is that going to be released?
It's going to be released on the 30th of September or the first week in October.
Can you see?
I
mean, like, there was really hope in this friendship. Alrighty. Well, so we've been talking about, all of that you've been doing, but you have really been called, to help the broken. And you have started a center.
Sure.
Please do share with us what that is all about.
So the center is called IOG, Institution of Grace, with a vision to redeem, restore, and release. So the redemption speaks about who Christ is in you and who you are in Christ. And that's my work as the pastor, right? So I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the restore part, what's amazing about our organization at the moment, everybody who's working with me are guys that has come through the Restoration Center.
Wow.
Our HOD is getting married to a girl who came through our Restoration Center.
Wow.
So that speaks about the restore part. So they have the experience and the knowledge on what it is to bring restoration to those caught in addiction. And then once the bridge between redemption, which is the pastor's work, is linked between restoration. So when the bridge is built between redemption and restoration, the last part of our vision comes into play, then we release them into destiny. But then we have what we call a reintegration program. Reintegration program focuses on go, build, and pioneer.
Okay.
Now that you have developed and invested yourself in a different culture, you got to go and create a lifestyle that accommodates that culture. And that's why we say go, build, and pioneer. And one of the guys in our program who's currently in his 3rd month is Ensley. Ensley comes from Westbury, where there's been shooting happening. And you guys know it's in our community. People are dying. People are being shot because of this drug-infected virus that we're currently fighting and facing within our community. And the center was born out of that place to make a difference in the lives of people for our community. It's solely community-driven, nothing else. So maybe we can give Ensley a chance to share about what the organization is doing for him.
Quick, fast.
Yes, I realized that I need help. I was on substance abuse for the past 8 years, and I told myself I really need help. I thought I'm walking into a rehab, but I walked into a restoration center. As I walked into a restoration center, I realized that here is my purpose to find God. And I didn't really have a relationship with God at that time. So it's not really a rehab, it's a restoration center. We don't do the outer appearance of a physical body, but we do it spiritually.
Wow.
As I am here today, humbled and honored you to my pastor, Pastor Kurt. And what we do is, I'm in that capacity where I'm growing into stability, where I believe that I can conquer the world. Yeah, I am sitting today. I am saved. I gave my heart to God due to circumstances, because why? The life out there is very hard. But what our center is doing at this present moment is doing a phenomenal job. Thank you to our visionary Pastor Kurt and to our HOD, Keegan McKenzie. So yeah, what I want to just tell you is that we restore people's life. We reconcile you with your family. Yeah, and Pastor Kurt and Pastor Keegan is doing a phenomenal job in our lives. I just want to thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff. Wow. Kurt, quickly before you get out of here.
No problem.
How do you get people to come to your place? Do you have a selection program? Do they just rock up at the door? And how do you take them in? Because there's a mother here that sent in, may see nodig help asseblief. Hy bly
and
an 8, die tronk. And wat kan ek maak? You know, it's a mother's cry. As we know, many of our mothers are, they're heartbroken when it comes to these things.
Sure.
So here's a beacon of hope. Here is a place where they can find refuge.
Sure.
How do they contact? How do they come about to, you know, just like Ansland here that has found a place?
I guess maybe just if I can encourage that mother who's listening in right now.
Yeah.
We had a situation last week. A guy in our program, his name is Kyle. He had a case against him. He had to go to court. The judge was adamant to send him away for 5 years.
Wow.
And then the father called us and said the judge wants to meet the person who's in charge. But having the belief I have in our HOD, the one who's come through the program, when I hear him speak, I hear myself speak. So I said, Keegan, you go and do the job, and I know you're going to do a great job. He went and he stood, and the judge asked him, what experiences do you have that can secure that this guy is going to be safe in your organization? And then Keegan said, I have the experience of being on substance abuse myself. And that in itself is experience. And having gone from the judge being adamant to put that boy away for 5 years in prison, he got a 5-year suspended sentence.
Wow.
And he's in our program right now. So I make a joke with him. I say, hey, guess what, Kyle? You stuck with me, man. You cannot go anywhere. So just to that mom out there, man, there's hope. There's hope. Just keep believing and keep trusting that things are going to change. So to answer your question, how you get in contact with us, you just phone us. You can call me directly. As I say, we journey out of relationship. So there's no phone my PA, wait 5 hours. It's as soon as we can help, we're there. Like, for example, this afternoon, I got in my car, drove to the community, went and searched for someone who I believe if we can get him, we can get 7, 8 other people. So we build it out of relationship. Come, man. I'm a pastor, but I'm a person.
Yes.
Let's chat. Let's speak. Phone me. Here's my number. Let's communicate. Let's be in relationship. We're living in the same community. Let's help. Let's invest. Let's grow. So you can phone me directly. You can phone our offices. You can phone Keegan McKenzie, who's our HOD.
All right.
And then we're there to help and serve and to help.
And those numbers?
My number's 074 688 9438. Keegan McKenzie's number is on my phone, but my phone's battery died.
Okay.
So you can call me and I'll give you Keegan McKenzie's number.
Okay, well, what we're going to definitely do is, like we said, we're going to be having a series with Kurt in the next 3 weeks coming.
Yes.
So you are going to know all the information that is needed and required for you if you are wanting to get a hold of Kurt. Do make sure that you're making an appointment every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks to tune in every Tuesday between the hours of 2 and 3. We are really going to be impacting, man. This is something that's close to the KYC. That is what we're here to do. It's our mandate, you know, to put the word out there for our young people. So thank you to Inslee. Thank you to Pastor Kurt.
Only a pleasure.
Thank you, Pastor Kurt. Thank you, Big Daddy. It has been a splendid hour. We got to do this again sometime.
There we go. Can I just say this before we leave? It is not going to be another conversation about drugs.
Yes.
It is not going to be another shallow conversation about work, self, and no. We are going to go behind or in the mind of the one who is going through this journey and dive deeper into the root, spiritually as well, of what is happening with our community. Because people go on, they find, you know, the symptoms, but they never go to the root of what the problem is. So the mind the journeying through the mind of, you know, the individuals that will come in studio and talk to us. And we're judging no one.
Yes.
We're judging no one. We are all guilty up until, I have to say it right now, we are all guilty up until we are caught. Kurt, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Out of here, the news is about to blaze. Ref is standing by. And after that, it is the Jive Drive 3 to 6 o'clock. Adios.
people are reported to have Ebola. In our markets, gold is trading at $1,234.52 an ounce, platinum at $935 an ounce. Is trading at 13 Rand and 18 cents against the US dollar, 16 Rand and 98 cents against the British pound, and 14 Rand and